Master Music Show. It's the Murder 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 Master Music Show. Hip hop is dead, but we don't resurrect it. You follow what mainstream says, but here it gets rejected. If you wearing tight jeans, don't expect to get respected. I'm from a time where wearing black was always on your checklist. From a time where faggots get checked if they reckless. From a time where if you got too much shine, we snatch your necklace. This real shit here, Illuminati, fuck the industry. We represent the street and they respect our street ministries. Take no shorts and cut the middleman, literally. This hip-hop savior, our birth scenes like nativity. This a place where no one sells out for relevability, and the masses can get a chance to explore more creativity. You gotta be kidding me. If you call that hip-hop, niggas with high shades and fluorescent flip-flop. We killing Big Brother, cause we know he watch. You don't like what I'm doing, then you can suck mine. And you don't Murder Master Music Show. It's the 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 Murder Master Music Show.
This is episode 316, motherfucking Murder Master Music Show. We're welcoming a special guest back to the show tonight. We got the homie Hassan Campbell, a.k.a. Poppy. Those of you might know him from, saying, basically ousting Africa Bambaataa as a pedophile. Said that, he was one of his victims as a child, as a young teen, along with, of course, Ron Savage. The media's kind of been slacking on it lately. We haven't really been hearing much about it. They're kind of tucking it under the rug. The hip-hop elite, they're not really speaking on it. We had MC Shan come on the show. He spoke on it. He said that Poppy gave him the courage to come out about what happened to him as a kid from another incident with somebody else. So, I mean, the stuff is running rampant, not just in the music industry. Of course, it's in the film industry. You all heard about, the shit with Corey Feldman saying that there's pedophile sex rings everywhere. But they're also doing it to brainwash your children. Okay, I'm going to tell you what they're doing. They're systematically trying to get inside the minds of your children in order to remove the masculinity from the young male youth in America and around the world, of course. But right here in America, it's worse than anywhere else. For one, they totally destroyed rap music completely. They completely handed it over to these, what I call swaggets, these feminine rappers. They don't even rap, they mumble, first of all. But they have album covers where they're in dresses, they're kissing each other on pictures on the internet. I mean, it's just nuts. There's even a song called "Throw That Boy Pussy." I watched about 10 seconds of it, and it was just disgusting. It was a bunch of dudes acting like male Two Live Crew dancers or something. It's like, what the fuck? Then I'll even say this, man. Shout out to the Cubs for winning the World Series. But man, you guys are following the steps of the Cardinals and other sports teams. I remember it's been years back now. I forget who the player was on the Cardinals, but I guess he hit a home run, and his teammate Jim Edmonds was at the home plate to greet him. And you know how the two greeted each other? They grabbed each other's cocks right on live television, right in front of however many youth Cardinal fans around the world were watching this shit. They grabbed each other's dicks. And it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't like, oh, I missed your hand. No, they grabbed each other's fucking meat right on national television. It happened with the fucking Chicago Cubs, too, man. I love the Cubs, man. I fucking been waiting for that World Series championship like everybody else that's a Cubs fan. But after Ross, I never noticed this before. I've been watching Cub games my whole life, especially this team all season long. But Ross hit a home run in Game 7 of the World Series, and when he went to the dugout, he did what you call a dick bump. Like, you know, motherfuckers they jump up and bump each other's chests or whatnot. This dude was dick bumping half the team in the dugout. It's like, what? Are you kidding me? And then the NBA, forget about it. The NBA, half the players show up to, you know what I'm saying, to the stadiums in some women's work pants with some fucking blouse on that looks like their grandmother fucking knitted, and then a purse. But of course, if I say this, now I've been told, I've even been told by certain rappers, oh man, don't go in on the homosexuals too much. It's not cool. It makes you look like you're homophobic. No, I don't give a fuck what homosexuals do in the privacy of their own home. I don't give a shit. But when you're targeting the male youth, that's a whole different problem. You know what I'm saying? And when you're seeing it infect things that the youth gravitate towards too, such as music, sports, entertainment, film, comic book characters, then there's a serious fucking problem. And tonight our guest, Poppy, he'll be calling in soon, I assume. We're going to speak about how deep this shit runs in the rap industry. Let me bring on, you know, say UGS homeboy right here, this brother Brandon. How you doing, Brandon?
Yeah, what up, Fred?
I'm just disgusted. You know, I'm getting ready for our guest because, you know, Poppy is, you know, gone out of his way to stand up for the rights of children and expose what's going on in hip hop. But I was talking about the dick bump with the Cubs home run. It's like, why? What the fuck is going on? You just did a 10-year bid, right? In which you said on the show before we had you on the Church of Reality, or you did an 8-year bid, I believe.
Yeah, I did 10 years out of like 10 and a half. Like I did 2 years in the Feds, and then shortly after, like I came home for like a couple months, and then I topped my new case, did 8 years straight. So yeah.
Okay, so when you went in, you're talking around 2004, 2005, something like that.
Yeah.
Give or take. When you go in there, I don't even know if the Wayne and Baby kiss had happened yet when you went in. But by the time you get out, did it happen
I
yet?
I remember reading about it in the magazine. I was like, what the fuck? But I remember that shit from before that shit became famous. They did that shit on 106 & Park, like back in the day. Like Wayne would kiss Baby and shit. Like back with the Hot Boys.
Before that picture. And then they would try to justify it.
Yeah, like before that shit. And then like Wayne in an interview on like 106 & Park, he was like, they said something about women or some shit. And he's like, the only motherfucker that can hear something is Baby. I'm like, what the fuck? And like that made me think the name Hot Boys meant something way different. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, man, yeah, I don't know, man. Like now it's just, I mean, it's the norm, man. Like you got one of the more popular rappers, man. It's that Young Thug motherfucker who wear a dress and shit. And I don't know if you be reading this shit that he be saying in interviews, man. He said his shit like how he wants to, like, fuck Bruce Jenner and shit, Caitlyn Jenner or whatever the fuck. Like he says weird shit like that. And he just said something the other day, man. I saw the clip. I forwarded it to. I thought I tagged you too. I might not have though, but you know, Monte Cristo, he be going hard too. And
yeah, the horse trainer. Shout out to the horse trainer.
Yeah, definitely. And it was something like Young Thug says, like he wants to get rid of like gender identity in hip hop or some shit.
Yeah.
Like just some wild shit, man. Like and like let me be clear, man. Like I'm not a hateful dude at all, man. Like you know, gay people, they can do whatever they want. That shit doesn't affect me at all. Like, I mean, I the whole gay marriage thing, like, you know, how does that affect my life?
Shit. Yeah, that's nothing to do.
You know,
yeah.
The way I put it though, like, there's just something like if I have my 5-year-old niece with me and we're watching something on TV and there's like a show with like a gay couple on or something and there's 2 guys kissing or 2 females kissing, for real, there's just something that makes me not want her to see that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
of course, yeah.
I'm not hateful about it, like, ooh, like, what the fuck? Like, you know, like they shouldn't have the right to live or anything like that. I'm not, like, hateful about it. There's just something that feels wrong about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just...
Yeah.
And then,
I don't know. You don't want to be walking down the street and then next thing you know, there's a parade and you see these motherfuckers and assless chaps and dildos swinging around and all kinds of shit. That's the last thing you want your kids to see. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. But on TV, on national TV, or in the rap game, I don't know who it was. Maybe you were in a conversation earlier. Somebody was talking about this new King Gordy song. I didn't even hear it yet. Describe to me what this dude was talking about in that song so I can kind of break down how sickening it is.
If I get something wrong, forgive me, because I heard this song and then someone was like, yo, check this song out too. So I heard like 2 songs at once, and one of them's an older song. But in both songs he says some crazy shit. And like the one song he's talking about, like he wants to, like he's talking about Tyler the Creator. And I guess he had beef with him or something. And like he says some like graphic shit, like drinking semen, splashing, like splashing in his asshole. Like,
this is
straight gay shit. Don't get me wrong, like dude can rap. Like he's a good rapper. He has skill. But it's like the way I put it was, if there was a white rapper that said the N-word a bunch of times, that said, I hate N-words all the time, we'd be like, that dude's a racist. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if this dude's just saying gay shit all the fucking time, it's several songs. It's not like just one goofy-ass song where he's just being an idiot. You know what I mean? Like, it's several. It's often. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's to the point where, like, someone's like, man, you got to check out this album. There's no gay shit on it, I think. Like, you have to think that if he says anything gay on it, like, that's how often the dude says it. His dude's super talented, but it's like, he's wasting it. Like, he's on to some weird shit. It's like Jordan playing baseball. Like, come on, dog, play basketball. Like, rap about some shit that's useful. And, you know what I mean? Like, the dude's talented. He could, like, put his mind to something else other than
talking about having a mouthful of seed. It's just disgusting. And then he made that song about wanting to rape Justin Bieber. You know, that's another. And people will say, they'll argue with us, Brandon. They'll say, well, this is shock rap. This is horrorcore. It's supposed to be graphic. No, there's a difference between being graphic and then being straight up just on some fruit ball shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just, whenever you got into a rap beef, I mean, I remember Quick. You remember the famous line in Dollars and Cents where he was dissing MC8. He's like, right before I nut, I'll shoot some piss in your face. You know, I mean, there was always stuff like that, but there was never no stuff about, hey, man, I'll drink your seed. I mean, get the fuck out of here. You know, I mean, this is just not right.
And that's what I was saying, man. Like, okay, even if he is just joking or whatever, like, we live in a time where rappers are wearing dresses and, you know, girl clothes and shit and singing and all that gay shit. Why are you joking about it, man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're going through that. Like, people that love true hip-hop, we're fighting this new shit, these dudes dressing like women, and then somebody in our world, in our underground world, is talking about drinking semen and fucking Tyler the Creator and Justin Bieber. Like, come on, man. You know what I mean?
I
like,
saw dudes defending that. I was on that post. I saw dudes actually defending that. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you really fucking going to take up for this type of shit? And what's crazy is most people, they don't even give a shit anymore. They don't even care. It's like they're just overly willing to be acceptive of the changes and what's going on in the you know what I'm saying, in the world today. And this shit's really fucked up, man. It ain't cool. It ain't cool at all. I think our guest is here. Let's see if this is the homie Poppy. Is this you, Poppy?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, brother? Welcome to the Murder Master Music Show again. Always an honor to have you. How you doing, man?
Peace. Real good. It's just an honor to be on the show.
We were talking about this fucked up trend that's going on where, you know, rappers, they're talking about drinking semen and fucking baseball players after they hit home runs, they go in the dugout and they dick bump each other. All this shit is directly aimed at the kids, man. From your perspective and what you've been doing, what you're fighting against on a daily basis, how do we combat, you know what I'm saying, mainstream media forcing this shit into the minds of our children, man?
Wow, that's a hard one right there, because it's like I'm on ban from Facebook for 30 days right now just for speaking out against that. And
no.
It's almost kind of scary where it's going, because it's almost like it's about to be a law that you can't even speak out against gay people. That's what it's seeming like. It's okay for us to view, you know, it's okay for us to view dead bodies and people killing each other on Facebook, on social media, but you can't say no homo.
Yes. I was banned for that, too, several times. I almost lost my account because of it, because people, I guess they have a filter for certain words or whatnot. And, you know, sometimes I might say faggot or, you know, hey, it is what it is. That's the era I grew up in. If someone did some homo shit, we call them a faggot. Like, what the fuck are you doing, you faggot? You know, but nowadays it's like so accepting to the point where everybody gets butthurt, even if you say it. I think the ones that get hurt the most, Poppy, are the closet cases themselves. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at least that's what it looks like to me.
I pretty much believe that this it's just weird, the number of homosexuals that's just popping up now. It's almost as if the vaccines that they're giving out is activating a gene. You couldn't pay me to believe that it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like, it's psychological warfare, it's biological warfare. I think there's a lot of different elements in play. You know, it's a mixture of chemtrails or MK Ultra with chemtrails or something. I don't know, but I've seen grown men too, who appear to have been straight, start wearing like shit that a 13-year-old girl would wear, just out of the blue. Like, wow, this is really happening right before our eyes. It's crazy. But you know what I'm saying, on another note, all the stuff that's been going on, you know what I'm saying, with the Bambaataa, since you and Ron and others have come forward, it seems like the heat is off of him now too. I mean, why would he be getting this pass, you know what I'm saying, when there's so many people saying, you know what, he did this, he's got a book, he's got that. I mean, why are, and the elite, the hip-hop elite are afraid to speak out against this. What kind of power grip does this guy have on hip-hop, Poppy?
You know, it's really kind of scary. It really is, because it's unbelievable to me. I really don't even understand it. I really, really don't. He got a show, or he has something to do with, I think, that show that's on Netflix. I think one of Will Smith's kids is playing in the show. It's about the gangs in the early 90s. I know they was doing a live shooting in Bronx River Projects, and I would have been there if I knew about it, but I found out about it like the next day after the shooting was over. They were shooting all the way up to like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, wow. They dedicating shows to this dude. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I really don't understand it. But then again, you know what? When you sit back and you analyze it, you know, you got all the children that was molested in Hollywood. You got all the you know, like the B2K dudes that was being molested. What's his name? Chris Stokes or whatever.
Yeah.
Not Omar. Yeah. What's the other guy name that was from B2K?
I know who you're talking about.
Raz B. Like it's a trend. It's a trend going on with child molestation. And a lot of these guys, man, a lot of family members have been molested or being molested, and the family keeps you to teach the secret. It's like it's a plague in the African American community.
It's really taken the world by storm, and it's. I see the effect that it's already having on the youth. I'm seeing these stupid, worthless mothers, if that's what you want to call them, upload videos of their little baby sons twerking in their diapers on social media, or videos of women uploading videos of their sons dressed extra feminine. It's like they're following in line with it and pushing for it as well. It's an attack on our children, man. It really is. And then on the other side of the spectrum, if you're a father, if you have daughters, you got to worry about now swinging dicks walking into the bathroom when your child is trying to use the bathroom. And they're about to pass a law where schools are going to have it like that, where boys and girls can go in any bathroom they want. I mean, it really is a war on our kids. That's why I salute you and Ron for standing up for the rights of children. What kind of backlash have you received, though, Poppy, from all this, since you guys, you know what I'm saying, first spoke about what Bambaataa did?
Well, for the most part, I received a lot of love from people, but it's weird though, because it's like on social media you'll see people, they won't really touch the post too much, but they'll see you in public, or they'll reach out to you behind the scenes and have so much to say, but in public it's like there's a fear to speak out or to have anything to say on the topic. But for the most part, as far as with me, I haven't had any backlash at all, except for, you know, the little bloggers that like to talk slick. I know Doggy Diamonds had did an interview with Ron Savage, and I didn't read the comments, but I heard the comments was like real scary, real crazy.
I can't believe at this point that anybody would even take up for dude, or even KRS at this point. I still see, you know, he never really got any kind of, you know, I mean, he got a pass pretty much for what he said by sticking up for dude, and it's just nuts that, like I said, these hip hop elite guys, they're not coming to the defense of children. It's like, man, fuck hip hop. Forget about hip hop for a minute. What about the kids that potentially could be at risk? You would think some of these dudes would stand on some type of moral ground on that issue, but apparently they're obviously afraid of something.
Well, you got to look at it like this. When you're watching these TV shows now, they're promoting homosexuality with an iron fist, like the show Empire, and then now out of the blue, they decide they want to take young M.A., the girl from Brooklyn, and they want to put her on the front line of hip-hop. She's down there just as big as Nicki Minaj now, and her music is basically based on beating females up and killing dudes. Now, I can't make a song about whipping a female ass or saying certain things, but it's okay for her to do it.
Yeah.
And this young girl been out for quite some time now, but now the mainstream decides to throw her on the front line. And this is what they're pushing.
The voice of hip-hop for the time being.
And homosexuality and pedophilia runs hand in hand. Most people that are gay will tell you that they were molested.
Yeah. And exactly, and that's what they're doing with the children. You know, it's almost like they're conditioning them, kind of like how they did with Christianity. You know, saying they conditioned the natives, they conditioned, you know, saying the Africans that were kidnapped and stolen for Christianity. Now they're doing it for homosexuality. It's fucking nuts. It really is.
Even the churches is afraid to speak out against homosexuality and child molestation. They won't even touch the topic.
Oh, yeah, it'd be because most of them are pedophiles themselves, and they endorse it. Like, we had this one lady on one of our other shows. She was a secretary at a church. She walked in on a priest molesting a child. She went to the cops. She went to the higher ups in the church. No one did shit. And this happens over and over again. And all they end up doing usually is moving the priest or the pastor or the rabbi to a different church, synagogue, congregation, or wherever the fuck, like it never happened. That's another huge institution that endorses pedophilia. Same thing with these different youth groups. You know, anything that attracts children, there's always going to be these vile monsters just waiting to get them on some level. You know, the YMCA, I believe that was just a breeding ground for sick Christian leaders to have their pick of the litter, so to speak, of young male youth. Same thing with the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts. I mean, it's almost like you can't get involved in anything nowadays. You know, it's crazy. It really is.
Well, as long as guys like us speak out and have something to say, people are going to join the bandwagon. We still got some people that have morals and principles that are still less, but for the most part, it seems like society is going down the tubes, man, for real.
Yeah. Now, there's various people that help break the news of the story when it first happened on Bambaataa. Are they still actively covering the situation, or are they kind of faded back as well?
Honestly speaking, I personally believe that Ben, he spent some quiet money, some hush money. I really, really believe that. I seen a picture with Ice-T's manager hugged up with Star, and they taking selfies together, and I'm like, hold up. You're supposed to hate Star. This is the man that destroyed the Zulu Nation, and if Star, if he was paid off or whatever, at this point, I wouldn't be mad at him because he already destroyed the Zulu Nation's own reputation. So it's like it's nothing more, nowhere else to go. He destroyed them already. So now, for you to take selfies with the man that basically destroyed the Zulu Nation, and y'all together in the public and you're not fighting, it says a hell of a lot to me.
Yeah, it does. It's exactly because why the hell is he not still talking about it like that? And taking pictures with dudes that's cool with them. Yeah, exactly. And you said it was Ice-T's manager he was taking pictures with?
Ice-T's manager, Mickey Benson. I personally know Mickey Benson, and for him to be actually with Star and there's not a fight going on, something just ain't right. Like, this is the same dude that's on the interview basically threatening Ron Savage. The live tape, the audio, that's the one that was on threatening Ron Savage and telling him that he liked, that ain't nobody raped you, you wanted it. This is the same one that was saying that Star is our enemy and is off with his head. And then it's the same one that I got the pictures with that Star sent me with them taking selfies together. And this is the same one that's supposed to be a founder of the Zulu Nation. So now you're taking pictures and selfies with the same guy that destroyed the Zulu Nation, and after that you hear nothing else from Star on this topic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy because you see this happen in the media all the time. A lot of flip-flopping going on. People have to stay the course, especially if you break something pertaining to children. You know what I'm saying? Because what you and Ron did was you let us all know that, okay, this guy did these things, these horrible things, but potentially could still be doing them. It could be children at risk right now. You know what I'm saying? And for cats to flip-flop on the subject like that, man, that's not cool at all. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that ain't the case. Have you heard from Star since all this broke? Or since the selfie? Has he given you an explanation of what that was all about?
You know what, at first, I was just so sick to my stomach, but then I had to think about it. I said, you know what? Star pretty much went as far as where he can go. If you read some of the comments, or, you know, on the people on his show, you'll see them saying, all right, hurry up and get the hell off of this topic. We don't want to hear this shit no more. So it's like, damn, what else does he to do? He already stuck a fork in Bam. So I can't blame him if they said, all right, here's a couple of dollars, shut up. He already did his part. Now it's other people's, you know, like what y'all doing right now, other people have to step up to the plate and say, you know, no. Enough is enough.
Yeah, you got to have, you know, you're right. He did his part. You know what I'm saying? If he has to bow out, okay, whatever. But others need to speak up. You know what I'm saying? Other media outlets need to do their job. I've noticed that it's very hard to get them to really do their job. They'll speak about it for a brief second, and then they'll go on to something about Lil Yachty or Young M.A. or some shit like that. Not even care. But it's just crazy. I saw a picture of you and Ron Savage the other day. What were you guys doing? Were you at some type of event or something, or what was going on?
Well, you know, there was a 66-year-old woman killed by the police in the Bronx. And
yeah, I heard about that.
She had a baseball bat. She was mentally disturbed. She was in a house, and instead of them taking the baseball bat, you got these trigger-happy rednecks that should just have no remorse and no sympathy, gunned her down. So the brother, my son, he's a rapper from the Bronx that he went to jail when he was at the height of his career. He was about to become a big rapper, and he went to jail for robbery. He got convicted or whatever for a crime, and now he's back home and he's trying to get back in the rap game. And he had, you know, he was out there. I seen him saying on Facebook Live that he was out there for 2 weeks and he gonna keep being out there. And I said, you know what? Let me go out there and show the brother some support. So when I actually went on Facebook Live, I guess Ron Savage, he saw it and he decided that he was in the area because he's from over in that area. He decided to come out and support as well.
Oh, that's good. That's real good. It's always good to see, you know what I'm saying, people come together, especially for horrible injustices like that. Like you said, get the bat away from her and do your job that you were trained to do. But these filthy pigs, all they do anymore is shoot. They don't follow protocol or anything. They just shoot. It's crazy. It's not right. But what about yourself? You know what I'm saying? Do you have anything going on in the future as far as like any events? Because I know you do a lot of work for the kids and whatnot. And you got anything popping that we can look forward to? Or?
Well, we definitely got some lectures coming up. I have to get back to you on the dates, basically dealing with the topic of child molestation and pretty much trying to bring awareness to it. I'm pretty much trying to figure out a way to help children because a lot of people have been reaching out that's in the foster care agency, and their stories is horrible. And, you know, sometimes when you go into foster care, it's like these people, these foster parents are supposed to be the saviors, but now you're going through worse things, worse situations in foster care than you was in the home that you was taken out of. Being molested again and far more worse.
Oh.
So, you know, with us addressing these topics right here, this is where the aim and the goal is to keep the light on it, because, you know, some people don't want to hear it, or some people don't want to address the topic, because to bring up the conversation in your household, your sister done got molested, your uncle done did the molesting, it was on your mother's watch, so it's like really, really ugly. How can you bring up a topic of the boogeyman when you had the boogeyman situation happen in your own family? About 5 or 6 of your cousins was molested by the same uncle or grandfather, and this is in damn near every household in the African American and the Latino community. This is why people are so quiet. So, you know, the events that we have coming up, I'm pretty much just trying to keep the limelight on the topic and make people feel like, you know what, I'm telling.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, definitely. And again, I commend you for doing that, because, you know, people are needed like you, man, to do these things, to raise this type of awareness. I usually, we're going to go to a break real quick, and I'm going to come back, and we're going to chop it up with you for a few more minutes. But I usually play music during the break on the Murder Mass Media Show, but I want to play a clip of a young lady we interviewed. Her name is Melissa on our other show. She was a former sex slave. I'm going to let her tell you exactly what she went through. She survived some pretty horrible things. This is her story. We'll be right back with the homie Poppy. Don't go nowhere. See, that's what happens, folks. Our children are being sold into sex slave rings, and it's just horrible. To hear her story, I mean, this lady was burned alive, thrown in a garbage can. And then this stuff needs to be made public everywhere. You know, people need to be talking about this more than anything, because you would think that we would put our children before anything else. I don't know why they seem to be left on the back burner, so to speak, all the time. It's crazy.
That right there blew my mind right there. Wow.
Yeah.
I just seen something on World Star today where a guy had a female on his own ranch land in some type of container, chained up in a cage, and I guess the passerby must have heard her banging, and he had a chain around her neck, locked in, and she was locked in there for months.
Oh.
And he's saying that he might have like 4 other bodies, you know, on his own property. Yeah, so this is really some serious stuff, and this is why I can't let up off of it, even when I think of saying, all right, you know what, I'm gonna just take a break or whatever, just because it can be overwhelming. I just can't, I can't stop off the topic. I can't let it go, because at the end of the day, somewhere out there, there's another child going through the same situation. Somewhere out there, there's another child inside a household that's being molested by a relative, and we just can't, we can't be quiet about it. We can't.
No, you got to come forward and speak up. Only if more people would do that, like yourself. You know what I'm saying? There's something that keeps guys, especially guys, from coming forward. You know, they don't want to admit that it happened to them, or whatever the case may be. But what was it specifically with you that made you not want to speak about it until you finally did? And what gave you the courage to, Poppy?
For me, it's like the embarrassment of the situation. I just really wanted to get away from the situation. Like I kind of, honestly speaking, I kind of blanked it out of my mind, And then on top of that, for whatever weird reason, because I don't even understand what the hell was wrong with me, I still was around Ben. Throughout the years, I wasn't hanging out with him, but we'd end up in certain events and places. And even still, with him getting stabbed up, me going to the hospital to see about him, and, everybody suited up, ready to hurt somebody, thinking that maybe he got robbed. And then when you hear the story of where he got stabbed and how he got stabbed, and, what went down, it was like, wow. That was the breaking point for me that sat in. He gave me a picture the next day when I went to his house. He gave me a picture of the kid, and the kid looked like me when I was younger, and it freaked me out. And while I was in Ben's house, I walked to the back to his bedroom, and Bam got stabbed in his bedroom. Bam's bedroom only had enough space for you to walk sideways by the bottom of his bed. So what was you doing in your bedroom with him? I already knew. I seen it. Like, you could visualize everything that happened. He stabbed Bam in his bedroom. Ahmed just came from the store getting a sandwich, and he ran to the back. And when he ran to the back, what happened was the dude stabbed Ahmed in the stomach, and then he ran past Ahmed, and Ahmed is a black belt. So this young boy really was furious. Ahmed is a black belt. He couldn't get that knife from that boy. That boy was good. He stabbed him, and he left. And then to look at the picture of this young boy, it kind of like, it did something to me. I couldn't really let it go. I was having talks with all of the Zulu brothers and telling them, yo, we need to have a talk with Bam. And I've been telling them before that situation happened, because I was hearing rumors with Bam. And everybody used to just try to, like, act like they didn't want to hear it, or, you know, just turn their back to the situation. And these are brothers that were supposed to be stand-up brothers.
Yeah. Like,
real good. Like, you'll hear people say, yo, this brother's a good brother. This brother did this work over here. This brother do this work over there. And some of them were supposed to be good brothers. But when you can turn your back to child molestation, you ain't really good. You just got an agenda.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You can't, if you see something like that lady I was talking about that walked in on the priest, you know, and you don't speak up against it, you know, it's going to eat you up inside eventually too. And you got to, because you'd be thinking in your mind, you know, what if I just did this or I did that, you know, and you know, this guy might not be around. And like you said, the dude came in, stabbed him, you know, saying people were mad enough to want to kill the man, and people wonder why. You know what I'm saying? They wonder why. It's not a coincidence. How many other, you know, fathers are angry and upset? You know, how many other people have went through this? And we talked about, you know what I'm saying, the book several times. We talked about the Black Book. There's all kinds of people in there. You would think that would be enough evidence to be like, you know what, let's find this Black Book. Let's see exactly, you know, I mean, do you think he probably got rid of it by now?
Let me tell you something about Bam. Bam is paranoid. Years ago, before all of these camera phones was out, when Bam used to watch tapes, cassette tapes, or like with the cable box, he would put cardboard up or something to cover the cable box, because he believed that the cable box could see inside your house, and this is before we had all this technology. So if he was that paranoid then, you think he gonna hold on to the books? Hell no.
Yeah.
Bam, let me tell you something. Bam is very, very paranoid when it comes to government. So as far as like you catching him with that book, it's not going to happen. I'm pretty sure he got rid of it, or he done buried it somewhere where you would have to really, really look for it. But he's smart. That book, nine times out of 10, I'm gonna act like he's smart. Consider that he got rid of that book, because if he still had that book, he'd be a fool. It wouldn't look good at all. But the reality of it is, you know what? Anybody that looks at this situation with Ben and you analyze it, you can see clear as day with all the evidence that's out there that he's guilty. You can see how he handled the situation that he's guilty. And anybody that knows the Zulu Nation knows that if I wasn't who I was, you would have the whole Zulu Nation together coming out and saying that man is a liar. You would see at least about 400 or 500 of them from different cities coming together saying he's a liar. But because of my reputation in the Zulu Nation, in the years and years and years of me being one of the top soldiers in the city, period, it's like, nah, he's not lying. They know. So now when you see, you know, like you have Muhammad Islam, the Zulu warriors, in the Zulu Warriors, you have a lot of soldiers, like some strong brothers in the Zulu War. You don't hear nobody saying nothing. Everybody's quiet. They made Ahmed and Muhammad and Pepsi and all of them, they made Bam supposedly step down. But when you hear the audio, Bam's letting you know, this is mine right here. I'm running the show. That's what he said behind the scenes. He didn't know I was going to get my hands on that conference call. But that conference call lets you know exactly where his mind frame was at and what he felt about the Zulus that left the Zulu nations. He called them a coward. He made it clear that, so what? He didn't say, so what, I did what I did, but he basically said, so what? When America does what it does, they don't answer to nobody. This is his exact words. He said when Israel does do what they do to the Palestinians, they don't apologize. They stand on their square. And coming from Bam, to hear him say that, you already know he's a pedophile, but to hear him say that out of his mouth is like, wow.
Yeah. He compared himself to Clinton. He actually compared himself to Clinton. And to me, I find it baffling that nobody was like, what did you just say? What the hell is wrong with these people to even co-sign that dude at this point? They're doing it under the table, though. They're not doing it, in public. They're acting like, they're trying to just pretend like none of it even happened. But, thanks to you and thanks to Ron, thanks to others, we know the deal. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's insane.
As a matter of fact, I actually have another victim of his that I'm waiting to bring out, on the right time. And it's like sad hearing his story, but it's pretty much the same old script. Same thing with Bam Bada. Same old script. Get the young boy alone. Get him to watch some porn. Tell him he's supposed to masturbate. It's healthy for young boys to masturbate. And then he's trying to figure out how to give the young boy some oral sex. This is the story of Ben.
Oh, man. And it just gets worse and worse. And you said that there's another guy that you're going to bring out at the right time. Did you say how old he was at the time, or was he real young? Or
he was like 11 years old.
11 years old. Wow.
Yep. And it was like, for me, this guy's like a little brother to me. He grew up in Bronx, but he grew up in my building. And, growing up, we in the projects, we always protect each other, especially in my building. So when I heard his story, it was like, wow. Bam actually got to him before he got to me, and I never knew this. Bam got to him before he moved to 1609. He was in the building across from 1609. So I know the boy had to be young for him to get him in that building. I've never even been in an apartment in that building when Bam lived in that building. So he got him real young. And this kid is 2 years younger than me.
See, and that's why it's so vital that people know about this, because, like I said, there could be more people today. If he's going after people at the age of 11, just imagine, what could be happening right now as we speak. You know what I'm saying? It's just fucking nuts. And to the people listening to this in hip hop, and you know about this, and you're protecting this dude, I hope you realize that you are child molester enablers. You're a pedophile enablers who allow these monsters to get away with what they're fucking doing. And as far as I'm concerned, you're just as guilty. You're just as fucking guilty, especially if you defend his actions. That just baffles me. I don't know how anybody could defend that motherfucker.
You know what kills me about the Zulu Nation right now with these cats? They running around, and some of them trying to do public work. I see them getting little plaques or whatever, awards for little things they're doing in the community. And it's like, all right, once again, you're like the uncle that paid somebody way to college and still molesting them at the same time, because you're not stepping up to the plate and publicly denouncing Ben at all. Y'all just not saying nothing. And all these flyers that they passing around, or anything that they have to say, they say, don't post nothing or don't say nothing on social media. Why wouldn't you speak out against Ben and what he did to separate yourself from him? Why wouldn't you publicly say he is no longer a part of us, we do not accept him, especially after he made it clear that this is my house, I own it, and y'all going to do what I say?
Yeah,
you haven't heard no response.
A bunch of men, a bunch of grown men, he said that. And they follow suit.
And I got to give a shout-out to the brother that told him on the conference call, what's his name, Cassius, he told him, you know, you don't even have no business being on this phone. Why are you even speaking? You already destroyed the nation. You destroyed it. No matter what Bambaataa does, and shout out to Beyonce for kicking him off of that tour, because he was supposed to start I think a 32-city tour with Beyonce. He had some deals with her. I don't think that's going down no more. You know, thank God that there's somebody out there that has morals that say, you know what, I'm not rocking with this. You running around and you touching the babies.
I didn't even hear about this because a lot of people have gone in on Beyonce with the occult. I mean, we heard Professor Griff and different people, but she actually kicked dude off a tour. I got to give her props for that if that's the case. That's amazing. You know, when he was supposed to go on a big tour with her, and she said, "No, I'm not having it."
I believe they had some deals that he was supposed to own. Well, he was supposed to go on the tour. He had some deals that he was supposed to do with Beyonce, but it don't look like that's happening anymore. As a matter of fact, somebody just told me he was supposed to be doing it. I'm not 100% sure if it was Alicia Keys. He did a show with her. I don't know if it was her or somebody else that he came out for, and he got booed off the stage. So the message is out there. Some people is not tolerating them. Over the internet, people are not really speaking out, but for the most part, the people that do know him, he's going to have a problem. And the Zulu anniversary is usually in November every year. I haven't heard anything about the own anniversary, so, it did some good. I believe it did some good, but at the same time, you got to understand something with Ben. He's not going to stop touching kids. He's the type of person that has access to go into many different countries with his money. And from what I heard, I don't know if it's true, he was banned from another one of these countries for the same thing. I think it was Venezuela or something like that, but I'm not 100% sure. So this is just pretty much alleged. Yeah. But he's going to continue on. There is no cure to stop a man from being in love with children. He's obsessed with children. The only cure for him is death or prison. Outside of that, he's not going to stop.
No, just like a sick priest. They're going to keep doing it until somebody has had enough of it. I remember when I was a kid, I saw on TV, I think you posted a video of it not long ago, a guy's son was getting karate lessons, and he waited. This was during court. He waited for the pedophile to walk by, and he shot him in the head.
That was beautiful.
That was. I mean, shit like that needs to happen to these scumbags. Because like you said, they're going to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how many children are going to have to be affected by just even one of these assholes? You know what I'm saying? Now, other countries, other parts of the world, they will fucking publicly stone one of these bastards, or throw them off a cliff, or set them on fire. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they'll really give them justice for the family and for the kid that had to go through it. But here, we slap these fools on the wrist. They very rarely do any time. If they do, it's very minimal. I mean, you get caught with 5 grams of meth or crack, you might get life in prison. But if you rape a child, you might get 6 months, maybe even probation. I've even heard of that. You know, a lot of guys just getting probation for that. I mean, it's horrible.
Yeah, Scott, you're right, man. When I did my time, there was people there. It was their third, fourth, fifth time there for that shit. And I mean, like I agree with what Poppy said. There is no cure for that shit. I mean, I was gone all that time. I'm still attracted to the same women. You know what I mean? That's what they're attracted to. There ain't no stopping that. And they keep letting these people out. And I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, just think of it this way: when they let me out, if they said you're not allowed to have sex with women, I'd fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, that's who I'm attracted to. That's what they do, and they just keep giving them stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like that's who they're attracted to. You know what I mean? They're attracted to kids. That's what they do, man.
And Poppy, you're right. The only way to get rid of them, you gotta either permanently lock them up or kill them. I don't even think chemically castrating them would even work because they sick fucks still have hands. You know what I'm saying? They might just get off on watching two other people raise a child or something. Who knows? But they need to be either thrown in a cage or in the ground. I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. But I'll tell you what, I want to thank you for coming on the show. It's always an honor to have you on, Poppy. You're welcome anytime. And please stay in touch with us and keep us informed what's going on. And if you have anybody else that wants to speak out, we're not afraid to put them on, man. Any time. Anybody listening, that goes for any listening. You're welcome on here. If you want to tell your story, get at us, ugsforlife.com. Is there anything you want to say, Poppy, before we get out of here?
Pretty much, basically to anybody that's listening to the show, even if you're an adult, if you was molested by somebody, put them on blast, because sometimes these people are still alive in our family, and they may be old. Put them on blast, because pedophiles don't stop being pedophiles. We have to speak out. We have to show the youth that it's okay to tell, even if it's going to get your mother and father in trouble, because if your mother and father is going to let you be abused like that, then they ain't worthy of you. Yeah. And that's pretty much what it is. Tell. Tell your teacher, call the police, tell.
Yeah. You got to go to people, and if the people you go to, like the woman in the church, she went to the clergy, she went to police, no one wanted to listen to her. She said that the guy is still a priest. Keep going to people until somebody listens. Eventually you're going to run into people like us that give a shit, and we're going to make sure that these sons of bitches are held accountable for what the fuck they're doing. So, once again, I thank you. I commend you for doing the work you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, Poppy. Much love and respect, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all for taking a stand and doing what men is supposed to do and stand up for the community, because I'm pretty sure you guys are going to get backlash for dealing with this topic.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I did get a phone call before I had you on, though. I did get a phone call from one of the guys who stuck up for BAM. And this is pertaining to having another guest on the show when I had Shan on. I'll just say KRS gave me a call. He was all upset. Oh, Shan needs to apologize. People are going to get hurt. All this type of shit. So I'm sure I'll get other calls, but that's okay. I'm not going to let it deter what I'm doing. I'm going to continue to expose these guys every chance we get. And like I said, we got a platform. It's not the biggest platform in the world, but it's yours anytime y'all need it. Thanks again for taking part in the show, Poppy. Much appreciation, man.
Well, thank you, guys, man. And if KRS-One is listening, KRS-One got to understand that karma is a bitch. And sooner or later, it's going to come back to him. Karma is a bitch.
Yeah. I'll say before we get out of here, I mean, that had to have been a total shock to you when you first found out about the comments he made?
Well, you know, it's funny, right? Because one of KRS-One's road managers or whatever he was to KRS-One in the past, he pretty much cut ties with KRS-One because of this topic right now. Him and KRS-One pretty much, you know, had a fallout, and they both went their own, you know, separate ways. And I take my hat off to that brother. I ain't gonna throw his name out there, but he pretty much stopped dealing with KRS-One behind this. He doesn't deal with him no more. Nobody can. You know, there's still some people out there that feel like we're just not going to accept being cool with pedophiles, and that's the bottom line to that. Nobody's going to rock with pedophiles. Being a child molester is just not cool. And on another note too, you know, it's not cool for some of these grown ass men to think that it's okay to run around sleeping with these 16 and 17-year-old girls neither. To be honest with you, if you're 40 years old, you ain't got no business running around sleeping with no 18-year-old girl. It shouldn't even feel right to you.
Yeah.
So it shows the mindset. If you're the same age as my child, it's just not going to feel right to me. I'm sorry. Let the youth let the youth grow up. Let the youth have the youth. Let them grow.
Yeah, and leave them alone. I mean, quit trying to, like you said, you know, quit fucking with them, and also quit trying to indoctrinate them. It seems like their minds and their bodies is up for grabs for whichever sick monster wants to come after them. It's to the point to where you almost can't. You know, when we were kids, you might be able to go up and down the block. Your mom might holler out for you. You know, when it's time to come in at night, when the street lights go out. You know, or when the street lights come on. Nowadays, you almost can't even let your kid off the fucking steps because you just don't know. You just don't know. It's fucked up that the world's heading in this direction. But I'll tell you what. Let's get out of here on a positive note. Let's go in on these fucking weirdo rappers, man. This is K-Rino. Welcome to the circus. I love the hook in this because he's like, welcome to the circus where no male rapper shirts fits. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much the gist of what's going on in hip-hop today. Y'all fugazi motherfuckers need to start acting right and bringing back talent and substance to the game. It's welcome to the circus. Thanks, Poppy.